To our MDs, to our principal, thank you so much for making time off your busy schedules to join us. We appreciate it, we do not take it lightly. Allow me now to hand over to the man who is going to run this session. Help me to welcome Mr. Victor Karamagi.
Thank you, Rudende, also known as Rud Ende. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, some energy, please. Good morning. You're all very welcome to our 14th edition of the Monitor NSSF Career Expo, starting at Makerere University Business School. Welcome to all our guests this morning, and we look forward to hearing from you on how we can chase our dream and defy the odds. Before we go far, I'd like to make a few introductions. Rudende actually has done that, but introductions from the audience. From NSSF, our head of marketing and communications, Barbara Arimi, here with us. Thank you so much for coming. From ABSA, the director, marketing and customer experience, Helen Nangozi, you're very welcome. They are the brains behind the Expo, and we also look forward to hearing from them. What's our program looking like today? This morning, it's a short one, don't worry. We'll be in time. We'll keep it brief, but exciting, just like Rudende has said. To start with, okay, first of all, at the end of the Expo, if you're attending, do not forget, there are many internship opportunities, and you will win those today. You will walk away with an internship placement today. So stay here, don't move anywhere. Many of them from NSSF, from ABSA, from Monitor. Talking of Monitor, we have with us head of marketing as well. Thank you for coming, Elizabeth. A hand clap for Elizabeth. Very, very good partner for our Expo this year. Without much ado, allow me to invite the principal, MOBS Professor Moses Muhwezi, to give your opening remarks. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, the MC. Mobzoe, you don't have energy. Who can test for us? Yes, you test for us. Our visitors need to know our culture. Thank you so much. The CEO of the National Social Security Fund, CEO ABSA. The CEO Nation Group, let's welcome the CEO here. Our other invited guests here, members of staff, His Excellency the Guild President and the Guild Cabinet, and all of us here, good morning. We are humbled to be here at this important Career Expo and to have all our big executives in the house. It's not every day that you wake up and you find such big people in your midst. Let's appreciate them. We all know, especially the third-year students who are getting out of the university, that the question that is in your mind is about your career, where you'll get a job from, what you have studied, and what your future will be. So to you as students, this is a nice day, and I want you to be attentive, listen to what they will be telling you. You know, we do not simply enter into the future. we must create it. You don't just enter the future, you must create it. The future is not a mystery. It is a harvest of career choices that you must make today. You need to know, for example, the 21st century, to know the 21st century competencies. Things like problem solving, like knowledge application, like creativity, communication, collaboration, teamwork, innovation, technology use, resilience, stress tolerance, and flexibility. Even being self-directed. These are important for you. I know we have taught you mathematics and quantitative methods and accounts and marketing. Those are technical skills. You need these skills to enter the future. If anything, the things we teach you in class, immediately you put on that gown, you no longer remember any model. You need to pick these skills to be able to survive. And our dear students, the visitors are here. But I think we have taught you to position yourselves in the job market. The different addresses we've been providing, the guest lecturers we've been bringing to your classrooms, the different experiences at MOPS should be enough to position you in the job market. One, you must get good grades. I imagine some of you are on the Vice Chancellor's list. You know, if you have Vice Chancellor's list, first class or second class upper, the better. Those who are still in year one, work towards that. I hope you acquire skills every day. Even as we are here, acquire something. When people are talking, write, get a piece of paper, pick some things. Every day we learn. The world should be your classroom. Your classroom is not only the university lecture hall. This is how you acquire skills and competencies daily. And you need to be known by those that make decisions. If you can be known by MD, NSSF, you are there. Do you know people that make decisions? How many people within your circles are important? Must your friends be only those you eat chikomano? That is it. Surround yourselves with the right people. And this is why you are here. You must be active in the institution, active in the right way. Active in the right way. Not in discipline. In discipline, my dear students, is dangerous. In discipline, we'll follow you up to your family as a father. In discipline, we'll reflect in whatever you do. MOB students, our dear guests, are known for discipline. Let's clap ourselves because of that. I expect you in the future to attain global professional qualifications. I think some of you could have taken interest in knowing what SCCA is, what CPA is all about, what CIF is all about. You need these international qualifications. And you also need to participate. Sometimes here we have volunteering jobs. Volunteer, even if they don't pay you, you pick that skill. The field attachment we send you for 8 weeks, I hope you make use of that time effectively. And you need to be informed even when you leave school. Many people, when they leave school, they stop the process of learning. And once you stop the process of learning, you are in trouble. You can even forget English. You can even forget. So please always keep in touch with the knowledge centers so that you have information. And like I said, you need to network. Surround yourselves with the right people. Not flowers, the right people, the intelligent people, the people that take decisions. So I know that as you started your careers, you could have made errors. This happens, our dear visitors, because in Ugandan education system, children don't know what they will be. They even go up. You are doing a course, but you don't like it. You must keep your eyes on the horizon. If you need to change, you cannot be only in human resource management option. You can choose to do something else as long as it excites you. You have interest, you have ability. You should not be limited by your past mistakes. And as our students, I want you to keep your minds open. Because some of the jobs you will get may not be the specialization you have done. But we have given you knowledge in the business school. They are compulsory subjects, the core subjects, the different disciplines, and survive elsewhere. So don't simply keep there. Don't simply keep there. So I think you take note of my views. I hope you know that the years to come, perhaps 80% of the jobs will be related to IT and may not be related to what you have studied. So keep your minds open and be flexible and take up what comes. As long as you have passion and you are ready to do it, you survive out there. As mobs, our guests, we have taken it upon ourselves to make these students ready. We have taught you, we have changed the curriculum, our lecturer, and we add somebody else from out. I have a plan of bringing what we call BCom +1 or BBA +1, meaning you come, you do your bachelor's degree in Bachelor of Commerce or BBA, whatever you do, but you add one skill, one practical skill. For example, BCom + plumbing, BCom + electrical installation, BCom + carpentry before you graduate. We have moved far, our guests, to ask the World Bank. They are trying to give us a project common user facility. We shall be building a huge factory so that those who have practical competencies can go there. Before you graduate, you get that skill. If you are in a family, your husband, you know plumbing, the wife knows electrical installation, then you don't have to spend that month on these repairs in our homes. That's what I mean. And we shall try to implement that. So thank you so much for coming. You will have a lot to pick from our seniors. You'll have a lot to pick from them. You know, when you fly out of campus here and you go to NSSF to work, this where we go, we look for the principal. Where is it? These things are not there. It is discipline, it is hard work, it is your knowledge, it is your commitment that will see you get to the top of the organization. It has been a pleasure meeting you, and I hope we are happy to see our visitors. Let's clap again to welcome them. And our dear guests, you hear how I campaign for you, my dear students. Our dear guests, if people come competing in a job interview and there is a mob student, pick a mob student. I am very confident that we have prepared them, we have encouraged them, we have pushed them to the world to be able to be relevant outside our gates. And I wish you good careers and a nice event.
Thank you, Professor. Another hand clap for Professor Muhwezi. Thank you so much. Before we hear from Susan, ears open, pen and paper ready. Number 1, like I said at the end, internship. Number 2, raffle draws for gifts. Number 3, if you came in at the main entrance, you saw the ABSA tent, pass by and learn from their ready-to-work online platform. They give you career guidance, they give you opportunities. Number 4, NSSF High Innovator has a very good program for you about career development. And number 5, start your savings journey now, especially if you're in the 3rd year, by registering with NSSF. Thank you so much for listening. Let me give you Kasasi. Whatever is said here, just listen. The questions for internship winners will be drawn from whatever is said here. So your pen and paper ready. The questions for the raffle draw would be picked from whatever is said here. So keep yours open, Samukasasi. Thank you so much. Let's hear from the inspirational Susan Nsibirwa, MD of Nation Media Group Uganda. Thank you.
Amubzoe. Amubzoe. Wewe. Good morning, everyone here today. Managing Director, he stepped out, Mr. Patrick Kayota of NSSF, Mr. Mumba Kalifungwa, CEO Absa Bank. We've been left on the stage alone. Professor Muhwezi, acting principal of MOBS, guild representatives, esteemed partners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you today as we embark on this 14th Career Expo. And on behalf of NMG Uganda and myself, we're really pleased to partner with NSSF on this expo. And we know that it's a venture that holds immense promise for all of you in the room today. And just really breaking up my speech with a story about myself and the value of some of whatever it is that we are doing for you today. When I was at university, I started work in my first year. So I worked throughout my 3 years at Makerere University. So I've never really rested because I started working, initially volunteering myself, and then I did a couple of internships. I did some internships then at Radio Uganda, at UBC, but then I was working at the Weekly Monitor. And so when the founders of the Weekly Topic decided to start the Daily Monitor, I joined as a volunteer of the Daily Monitor. I was an intern student, and the testimony is that today I am managing director of the Daily Monitor. So there were years in between there. I wasn't always with the Daily Monitor. I left and went and started work, and then I came back and I joined the board, and in January, I started my role as managing director of Nation Media Group Uganda, of which our Daily Monitor is one of the 4 companies under Nation Media Group Uganda. So Nation Media Group Uganda has 4 companies. There's the Daily Monitor, Monitor Publications, which is the Daily Monitor, KFM, Dembe FM. Then we've got Africa Broadcasting, which is NTV and Spark TV. And I'm glad to say that we are streaming live on NTV right now, I hope, for the speeches anyway. And then we've got Nation Couriers, which is one of Uganda's largest courier companies. And then we've got the East African, which is a weekly. So there are 4 companies which I am overseeing under Nation Media Group Uganda. So in today's fast-paced world, they talk about the transition from university, but these days, the line is so blurred because we've got people who are in university and working at the same time. Then we have those who are like green when leaving university. And so many times when you meet young people today, it's quite a disillusioned environment or mindset that you get. So every time you say, yeah, we are studying, but there are no jobs. Yes, we are going to school, but where are the jobs? And so it's quite a disillusioning mindset. So my prayer really is that when we have events like this, that you leave with a mindset that's not so negative. that's not so disillusioned that there is nothing out there. We've gone to school, but there is nothing out there for us, because that's the rhetoric that we hear all the time. University graduates, no jobs. University graduates, no jobs. That's the rhetoric that we hear, and it can form our mindset. And so even before we've left the university, the battle has been lost. And so I'm really hoping that from today's activity, from all the speakers that we're going to listen to, that our mindset will become more positive, and we'll actually begin to see that when we're talking about shaping our future, that it all starts with us. It starts with us, it starts with our mindset, it starts with our purpose. And that's when you realize that there is actually something out there for everybody. So it's crucial for us at NMG to partner with NSSF, with ABSA, to offer you that beacon of guidance, to offer you that light, to offer you something that is showing you the way that all is not lost. So this year's theme, Discover Your Purpose, it resonates very deeply with me, because it's very easy to join the workforce without a purpose. And when you join a workforce without a purpose, when you leave university without a purpose, then literally anything goes. Come here, do this, do that. But so it's essential for us as individuals to find your purpose. What is your purpose? Because when you're living a purpose-driven life, then you will actually realize what your contribution to society will be, what your contribution to community will be. And so I'm really thrilled with today's theme. And there's lots of opportunities. The gig economy, the digital economy, even the traditional economy, because somebody's got to do the traditional jobs, right? Many times, I saw a billboard the other day of study this and become your own boss. There was a billboard I saw, that someone talking about training. Study and become your own boss. And it's good, but if everybody becomes a boss, then who is going to do the other jobs, right? So even the legacy jobs, somebody has got to do them. And the truth be told, not all of us are made out to be our own bosses. That's the truth. And so we've got to see, how do we work together to encourage each other, to teach you to unleash your passion, unleash your strengths. What is your ambition? Is it a good ambition? Is it a realistic ambition? And so that's why this Career Expo is very important. So to you university students here today, look at this Expo as an opportunity to equip yourself, They've said, take notes. Do take notes. Equip yourself with the talents, the tools that you need to navigate the complexities of the job market. So we've got experienced career guidance coaches who are going to give you insights and practical advice as you chart your course to wherever it is that it is going to go. I really want to appreciate NSSF because people, we underestimate the importance of NSSF in our market today. Personally, I started my very first job, they started paying, and that was in 1992, before many of your parents were born, maybe. They started my very first job when Social Security was not a thing. But, because of my employers then, they started paying NSSF for me. So I've been a saver for many years. And so the importance of NSSF, and now we've seen the changes that are happening in terms of teaching us financial planning, financial security, things that you need to know now. When you get a little money, many times we eat it. It's like, if the money is not enough to solve your problems, then eat it. That's the mindset that we have. But it's important as young people now to understand the concept of saving, to understand financial planning, financial management. And NSSF is such a good partner on this right now, and I want to commend them on this. So visit those tents and see what they have for you for long term. Saving is not saving today, Nigina style. What's that style where 10K, 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 when it comes you eat, then you start again 10K, 10K? No. We're talking about long-term saving, long-term financial well-being, and NSSF is really our best place. So we want to make sure that this message goes far and wide. Like I said, we're streaming live on NTV, KFM, on social. And so we want to see how the messages that come out of this expo shall reach as many people using our content platforms. Thank you again, ABSA. Thank you again to our directors of marketing who have worked hard for this initiative. And I know that together we can pave the way for a brighter, more prosperous future, and one where every young person has the opportunity to thrive and succeed. I do thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you, Rud, and thank you so much. More good news. Who of us like TV? NTV especially. Now, NTV will be conducting a talent search. So if your dream is to be on TV as a news anchor, as a presenter, stay around. NTV will be conducting a talent search. Tomorrow, you could be on TV. Keep that in mind. Thank you so much. The Daily Monitor is offering you a chance to read the e-paper at 50% discount. Download the app. There are pointers, especially about this expo. Thank you so much. Before we hear from the CEO from ABSA, allow me to recognize one of our keynote speakers later today, Fiona Wall. Fiona is a lawyer, she's a PR expert, marketing expert, and she's also the CEO of the East African League of Directors. Good to see you, Fiona, and we look forward to hearing from you. Next, join me to welcome the CEO, ABSA Uganda, to give his remark. Thank you so much.
I was hoping I would also start with a war chant like Susan did, but I'll write on that. To our hosts today, Makerere University Business School, Professor Muwezi, thank you for having us participate in this important event where we get an opportunity to share experiences with potential graduates, potential employers, potential managing directors of the future. I recognize the presence of my colleague, Susan, the MD of NMG, students present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. One of the things that I like to do when I converse with people is provide context so that when I say certain things, you are able to relate and understand where I am coming from. So by way of introduction at a personal level, I like to start by obviously stating that my name is Mumba Kalifungwa. I am a Ugandan resident of Zambian origin. At a personal level, I'm a husband, a father, a brother, an uncle, a cousin. Why is that context important? That context is important because each and every one of you, at least I know you're not, you're not fathers and husbands yet. If you're a mature student, we recognize you as well. But what is important is to have that foundation, to appreciate that we are all coming from a foundation where the commonality that we have is that we are human beings. When I talk about fatherhood, I am blessed with 4 children. 2 of them are university graduates, one in economics, the other in digital media and marketing. Then we have a pipeline of 2 that are coming through and just about to start their careers. One going into university, one in high school. Why is that context important? That context is important because nowadays, most young people think when they see older people, they are old school. They are not in touch with the times. They are too slow or they are impatient. Young people nowadays are impatient. You want to graduate today and be at the top of house tomorrow. You want to graduate today and be driving a Range Rover in a year's time. Do you relate to those comments, colleagues? They're relatable, isn't it? Now, here's the thing. There are no shortcuts in life. Life is a journey, life is a process. To get to the point where you see children graduate, it is not easy. There will be fights, there will be retakes, there will be conversations. And the only time that the children realize that there is value in being mentored by a parent is when they graduate. When they graduate and become adults on their own. That is when you begin to appreciate. I emphasize that fact because, for me, in everything that you do, the foundation of your life is the family. If you are blessed to have parents, you're blessed to have guardians. Those that are older than you and have been there before you are vessels of knowledge that you should always appreciate to tap in. So that's that at a personal level. I'm excited to engage with young people because it is something that I've done for the better part of my life. Being a firstborn in a family of 4, I took that role very seriously. And being a firstborn, I was my parents' first child. My parents' first attempt or experience about parenthood. So everything they learned about parenting, they learned by parenting me. And for those of you who are firstborns in here, you will know that being a firstborn comes with immense responsibilities. It's almost like you're a co-parent. Either you shape the direction of your siblings. For me, I was very clear. The reason I took personal interest in ensuring each and every one of my siblings graduate is because I didn't want perpetual burdens. I wanted them to be independent so that they can look after themselves and run their own lives and not be a burden on me. So those are values that when you are exposed to that sort of setup, whatever position you may have in the family, take it very seriously and take it as a life lesson, a foundation upon which you are going to build your career that you have attained from the education that you've received at this auspicious institution, and all the learnings that you have in your career journey. I have also, over the course of my life, benefited from career guidance, benefited from mentorship, from successful professionals who were willing to share their personal experiences, knowledge, and skills that they've acquired over the years. I always like to say there is no substitute for experience than experience itself. For this reason, as an institution at ABSA, we are happy to be partnering with the NSSF to present this Expo and provide some insights into what, from my leadership journey, I believe are some of the key ingredients that you need to focus on as you embark into this enchanted territory of the rest of your lives. This initiative for young people, for the world of work, provides knowledge that is essential for your transition to work either as an entrepreneur or as an employee. And I emphasize, either as an entrepreneur or as an employee. You are being prepared for the world. Some of you will be employees, some of you will be entrepreneurs. But for you to be successful in each of those, you will need to acquire the requisite experience and be under the tutelage of appropriate mentors. Youth education and skilling is something that we are proud of and passionate about at ABSA. And you may ask yourself, why? It is because young people face a rapidly changing world, and with this in mind, we have made very clear strategic commitments to our continent and the development of its youth. ABSA has created a program that we call Ready to Work, which we intend to avail to each and every one of you. It's very easy. You just go on the internet, type ABSA Ready to Work, and it is absolutely free. What is the relevance of this program? This relevance is our contribution to equipping young people to the world of work and entrepreneurship. And it focuses on 4 key skills. Earlier on, when Professor was speaking, it's almost as if we had compared notes, because the things he said are very relevant and are covered by our program. You have learnt the hard stuff, the technical skills in the classroom. But now, the next challenge becomes acquiring soft skills that enable you perform in the world of work, that enable you work with other people, that enable you work with complex stakeholders in complex environments. So the Ready to Work, ABSA Ready to Work program covers 4 key essential skills. These are people skills, work skills, entrepreneur skills, and money skills. Extremely important. You have learned your accounting, your mathematics, your quantitative economics, and all those good things. But you now need to develop the soft skills that enable you be effective in the world of work. And I do encourage each and every one of you, post this discussion, to log on immediately and sign up for that certification. When we look at the ABSA Ready to Work program, we believe it provides material to help you improve in your journey of life in terms of how you cut out your skills. I have spoken to the modules that it covers and their relevance. And we do believe that it is quite helpful and includes resources, even like CV templates, and even a wellness corner that will give you expert advice on topics such as overcoming fears and limitations and uncertainty and much more. So I do really encourage you to visit that site. Best of all, ABSA Ready to Work is free. As young people, I am alive to the fact that today we face a rapidly changing world. And with that, many challenges in finding work opportunities do arise. I am pleased to report that over the last 3 years that we have partnered with the NSSF for the Expo, we have had at least 9,000 young people participate or access the Ready to Work program and obtain the certification that is required. Was it? Up there. So I'm acquiring new technical skills now. Right? There we go. So the success of the program is partly due to the partnership like the one we have to do today with the NSSF, Career Expo, and other partners such as the National Media Group. As an institution, we recently refreshed our brand promise. And our brand promise says that your story matters. What does this mean? It's an expression that as a bank, we intend to be driven by empathy, providing a more human-centered approach in everything that we do. Our being here today is testament of that fact, that the story of each and every one of you in this room matters. Your success, your future matters to us, because ideally, you are potential clients of ABSA and potential taxpayers that will contribute to the growth of this great nation. This brand message is rooted in our belief that every individual and business deserves and has the potential to build a better tomorrow. And then banking should be centered around the needs of people, business, and society at large. Going back to our theme, when I heard of the theme of today's Expo, determining your purpose, I found it quite fitting, considering that being able to do helps you live a meaningful life. I shared with you a bit about my personal background. Allow me to share a bit about my professional journey. I trained as a chartered accountant some almost 30 years ago now, and stopped my academics at a master's degree level. I think that's as far as I could go. I couldn't advance like professor. But it was an important journey because it creates a solid foundation upon which you are able to build a structure that we call your future. In the first job that I did for the first 5 years of my career, it was a very demanding job. I worked for what was called a firm of chartered accountants, Coopers and Lybrand at the time, for those of you in the accountancy field. And what that job entailed is that you provided accountancy and consultancy services to clients. And how that was done is that for you to provide those services to clients, you needed to lead a team of individuals from different backgrounds. And there was one constant constraint. That was time and the resources in terms of human resource. But guess what? When a client engages the firm to deliver a service, how you delivered it as a firm was none of their business. They required a firm to deliver on its mandate. That was the most challenging part of my life because, one, I was working almost 365 days a year, unable to go on leave, but I was earning a salary that got me by. It was the lowest salary I've ever earned, but I had to make ends meet, and we had to survive on those funds as a salary. When going through that experience, it was painful because you would look around, compare yourself to your friends probably who got their big break in the first year of graduation. Compare yourselves to those who had a big government contract or supplier contract that has given them an edge. But guess what? Several years down the line, at every opportunity that I get to speak about the experience that has contributed to shaping the person that, or the job that I am now doing, it is because of what I went through in that 5 years. It required a lot of discipline, it required hard work, it required resilience, and it required humility. I heard professors speak about discipline. There is no doubt that in everything that you set out to achieve, without discipline, you cannot go far. You will enjoy for today, but you will not plant a seed for the future. Why was that experience important to me? It shaped me. I was introduced to the world of work in a very challenging environment. But the values, the work ethic, the intensity in terms of exposure and experience that I got during that 5 years formed the foundation upon which I manage myself and I've managed myself through the various employers that I've worked with over the last couple of years of my career. So extremely important that engagements such as this one, where you get to interact with different people, get to hear of different experiences, pick up a nugget or two on what it is you are going to build the foundation of your career on. Having a personal value system has been a very, very instrumental part of shaping my career and my future. My personal values: discipline, hard work, humility. When the first two are very clear. Humility for me is about having basic respect for human beings. There will be all these titles that go with people and all that, but those titles belong to the office, not to us as individuals. We are merely privileged to serve in those roles. And having that concept clear from onset is something that is extremely important if you are to be successful as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an employee. So extremely important that you have a value system that then forms the foundation of who you become as a person and as a leader in the future. The relevance of a high value system contributes greatly to defining your purpose statement. If I share around my personal purpose statement, I believe it is to grow and drive people to achieve their full potential. And it is something that I have done consistently over the last couple of years, that I have worked in various markets with various individuals, different cultures. It has required discipline, hard work, resilience, and commitment to the cause. And I would implore you that as you define your purpose in terms of what it is you exist to contribute to this life that we've been given, you do some soul searching. What am I passionate about? What excites me? What gives me fulfillment when I do it? As I indicated, on my road to self-discovery, my role model was none other than my father, who is a university professor as well. As a firstborn child, the value of responsibility was bestowed on me at a very early age, and I took the responsibility seriously. I won't lie to you that I was a perfect child. No, I was not. Because just like you, I believed my parents were old school. Did we have some disciplinary sessions? Back in the day, it was okay to do corporal punishment where you get a few canes. And fast forward to where I am, that was necessary. It was a method and a formula that worked. And it is something, a mild version of those tactics we've implemented in raising our children. What did I learn? I learned that there are no shortcuts in life. Making honest money takes time, as long as you are disciplined and committed to the cause, and you have a strong sense of values that define what and how you do things. And I would implore each and every one of you to take those learnings that you have picked from the environment that you've grown up in, the environment that you live in. And before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, we are now colleagues, right? You are coming onto the job market. Some of the thoughts I would like to leave with you as I leave the stage is, number one, as you look at determining your purpose and look out to the future, you have started with the first step. This is a very solid step that you have taken by acquiring tertiary education. You have theoretical skills and knowledge. That is a very good step. That's the first block that has been laid for the foundation that we call your future. Start defining your purpose based on what you are passionate about and what gives you fulfillment. That will be an important ingredient in how successful you become as an entrepreneur or as an employee. Like Professor said, the third point is around continuing to invest in learning practical and soft skills. We've all heard of IQ, which is why each and every one of you have graduated or will be able to graduate. Emotional intelligence, EQ, that's extremely important. You need to understand yourself. When you understand yourself, then you are able to understand how you manage people and how you react to situations. Because imagine at the shortest of things, you lose your cool in a boardroom and want to wring people's necks. What value will that create? So emotional intelligence means that you are able to do exactly that. Control your emotions, control the way you speak, the way you relate to people. SQ, social quotient. You need social skills because human beings, no human being is an island. You live with people, you interact with people, and your success in the environment will be dependent on the social skills that you develop. Professor talked about networking. Exactly. For you to be able to network, you need to have social skills. That is another quotient that I would like to implore you to take seriously. And finally, adaptability quotient. Being able to adapt to new environments, new geographies, new organizations. These are soft skills that are relevant for now and the future. As the world becomes dynamic, it becomes volatile, it becomes uncertain, the world is global. It's one global village. You need to be able to adapt, to work in different environments with different people and in different cultures and circumstances. And finally, the point that I would like you to take away from today's discussion or sharing is respecting the learning and growth process. They say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Today, you have taken the first step, and that is by being a participant at this Expo, by completing or making progress in terms of your academic studies. That is the first step towards the rest of your life. I will conclude by encouraging as many of you to participate and use this Expo as a learning opportunity from the pool of experts from various diverse backgrounds and various careers who will provide invaluable knowledge that is based on their own personal experiences. Please attend. Be ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn, and even challenge, where necessary, theories or concepts or practices or experiences that are not relatable to yourselves. I wish you well as you embark on the Expo, and hope that this would be a point that helps in defining and determining your purpose of what it is you are on this earth to contribute to this life. I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Another round of applause, please. Thank you so much. Let's test a bit. Quiz time is coming. No cram work. Let's do some testing. Yeah? So Susan said she started saving with NSSF in which year? Guys, quiz time, internship. Yes? 1992. Is she right? Yes. 1992. ABSA has an online platform called... Guys, put up your hand. You're giving away your answer. Eh? Let's go this side, yeah? Ready to work. Is she right? Yes. Salim, some gifts, please. Eh? A gift here and a gift there. Thank you so much. And NTV will be conducting a... No, that's not correct. All right. I think we... So 3 gifts, Salim. A gift here, a gift there. Where was the other one? A gift here. Thank you. Now this one. The personal purpose statement of the CEO of ABSA is... Personal purpose statement. His personal purpose statement. You guys, pen and paper. Sorry? No. Another try? Okay. Here? Sorry? No, personal. Your story matters is personal. He mentioned his personal purpose statement. Sorry? Closer. Guys. Gift, Salim? Yeah? Yes? Okay, let's proceed. Eh? Don't worry. All right, before we hear from Patrick, let's welcome another keynote speaker that will be talking to us today, Benon from Swangs Avenue. Thank you for coming, co-founder Swangs Avenue and head of production at Swangs Avenue. If you've seen or heard Osmosis, that's the guy behind it. Thank you so much. Patrick, we are ready to listen to you. Thank you so much.
You will agree with me that after hearing what Susan had to say and what Mumba had to say, what I'm going to say should be pretty boring. So we are going to make it a little interesting. I know you've been sitting for a while. Why don't you just stand where you are? Okay. When I was in primary school, we used to do an exercise and so stand akimbo. It meant stand with your legs a little bit apart. We're going to spell the word mobs. with our middle part of the body. Oh, yes. So we do the M and capital letters, M, U, B, and then S, explanation park. Thank you very much. What you've just done is to work your core, and it's very important to work your core because it supports your body. Okay. When I heard what the professor said, what Susan has talked about, what Mumba has talked about, pretty much they've covered my speech. So that's the good news. The bad news, I have to figure out what to tell you in the next few minutes. Because if you think about what they have is, what are the chances that a boy from Nyem Nyem could have a career in the US and then later return as a CEO? And now, many of you who do not know where Nyem Nyem is, if you go from Kampala, past Jinja, past Bugiri, past Tororo. Are we together? Many of you don't even know where Tororo is. Okay. It's the east. The wise people come from where? I don't know where. If you are from the other side, I have no idea. From Tororo, 14 miles on the way to Mbale. It's halfway between Mbale and Tororo. You make a left. 4 kilometers is a village called Nyem Nyem. That's where I was born. In other words, it's a typical Ugandan village. And I'll share with you some of the things going through. So I'm not going to go through a lot of these things. Just to let you know that what you have done along the way. Since we started this program, 44,000 of you have become members of the fund. You've contributed 35.5 billion shillings. What Susan said, that money, as long as you don't eat it, grows. So when you look at the things that we are talking about, this today is about discovering your purpose. So my time will be spent more about talking about the stories now. Many of you are here. Because I remember almost at the same time we were there. I'm about to graduate S6, not even university. And I'm struggling. Oh God, will I get a job? Me, I was even fighting, will I go to the university? When I went to school, there was only one university called Makerere. The rest of them, Chambogo was still a teacher training college. This one was called the UCC, Uganda School of Commerce. It was a degree. So if you missed Makerere, you knew you were dead. I missed Makerere. So you can imagine what we're struggling with at the time. Will I even have a place to sleep? In S6, I'm sleeping in a dome. I do the exams. Where am I going to sleep? In my heart? I'll tell you about the heart later. So this is some of the things we're struggling with, and you're struggling with these things where you are. The good news is, that was then. The good news is this now. Between you and the next few years, we'll be excited. The important thing is doing nothing is not an option. You don't give up. You actually have to start thinking and doing the things that you want to do. Now, somebody said that the moment you begin to ask those questions, you'll find in Japanese called ikigai. And ikigai basically means life's worth. It talks about your passion, your mission, vocation, profession, and the things that we have. Because if you find it, ikigai will lead you to fulfillment and direction. Not as an end of itself, but rather as a process. And I think Mumba talked about that these are the things that we need to find. What are you most passionate about? He spoke about that. But he find fulfilling. And there's just
in 1666, a terrible fire swept through London. It destroyed homes, businesses, and a lot of public buildings. One of them was the beautiful St. Paul's Cathedral. But after the fire, there was hope. People started a huge project to rebuild St. Paul's Cathedral and help the city recover. The famous architect, Christopher Wren, was in charge of this big task. One bright sunny day, Wren decided to visit the construction site. He observed the hustle and bustle, the dust in the air, the noise of work all around him. Amid all the workers, he noticed 3 bricklayers. Their faces were sweaty and covered in dust. their hands rough from handling the bricks. Intrigued, Ren walked up to the first bricklayer and asked, "What are you doing?" Without looking up from his work, the bricklayer replied in a tired voice, "Can't you see? I'm laying bricks, one after the other, all day long." Ren nodded and moved on to the second bricklayer, posing the same question. The second bricklayer paused, looked at the wall he was building, and said with a hint of pride, "I'm building a solid wall. It's hard work, but it's coming together." Then Ren turned to the third bricklayer and asked, "What are you doing?" The third bricklayer stopped his work, turned to Ren with a broad smile on his face and a sparkle in his eye. He stretched out his arm, pointing towards the vast construction site, and declared, "I am building a grand cathedral. It's going to be a masterpiece, a tribute to the Almighty, standing tall in the heart of this city." Just like the bricklayer, you hold the power to find and give purpose to what you do, whether your passion aligns with it or not. Having a sense of purpose brings greater fulfillment and serves as a guiding light during challenging times. Viktor Frankl, a man who experienced some of the most challenging circumstances imaginable. As a prisoner in Nazi concentration camps during the Holocaust, every day was a fight for survival in places designed to break the human spirit. Yet he found a reason to push forward: his purpose. He was driven by a desire to live, to see his family again, and to share his experiences with the world. This purpose became his source of strength, helping him survive the darkest of times. Frankl comes to a realization that the meaning of life can be found in every single moment we experience, even in times of suffering and death. So if you're feeling lost in your life now, remember this: in your own life, a purpose awaits. It is within your power to uncover it and let it propel you forward. This is Take the Leap Motivation. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much. So now the story from Nyem Nyem. I have to paint for you this picture. Growing up in the village, there is no electricity, there's no running water, which means there's no TV. We had a little transistor radio. You have to figure out how to entertain yourself. So at a very young age, we depended on stories told by anybody who can tell a story. So this is a story I remember about a man in our village. His name was Okapi. Okapi worked in a crew that used to make the roads. At that point, the roads hadn't yet built. They were just beginning to build new roads through the villages. Okapi was one of those men. And his crew specifically broke rocks. So they would find, as they build the road, they would find the rocks, and then they would break the rocks into pieces so they would be laid down. Okapi realized one thing, that every day under that hot African sun, he would be sweating, and right around midday, the chief would come riding his bicycle, and everybody would panic, the chief has come. And everybody would stand still, and everybody would be, because the chief had arrived. The more he looked at the chief, the more he realized, no, this life, no more. I wish I was a chief. The next morning, Okapi woke up. He was chief. And now all his crew members respected him. Ride his bicycle, come, find everybody. Hey, wait, what are you doing? And everybody was fine. One day he receives a call. The king is coming to visit, to see the public works that have been laid. Okapi wants to impress the king. So as a chief, he worked like a dog. Sure enough, the king came, rode his horse, spent only 5 minutes. And Okapi said, wait a minute, I spent 3 months trying to make this road. The guy came here for 5 minutes and went away, and I'm so tired. Heck no. I wish I was a king. The next morning he woke up and was king. And now all the chiefs obeyed him. All the crews obeyed him. The whole population would sing his praises. And he's walking and say, yes, I am king. I've made it. And he's walking one day under that hot African sun. And that day the sun was hot. And he tells his servant, why am I hot? The servant says, sir, you are hot because the sun is hot. So tell the sun I am the king. No more heat on me. The servant says, we can't. It's too far. The more the king thought about it, the more angry he became, the more sadder he became, until one day he says, no, there's something stronger than the king. I wish I was the sun. And the next morning he woke up, he was the sun. And he burnt, and he shone, and all the water dried. The grass turned brown. And looks at me, yes, I am now the strongest that I can be. And he did. Everything ran from under the sun. The trees dried. Everything went. Until one day, he looks down. And the more he burnt, there's something that was already moving. These were some rocks on a rod. And he burnt, and he burnt, and it became drier and drier, but the rocks are not moving. He becomes angry. He says, heck no. There's something stronger than the sun. Can't be. I wish I was a rock. And that night, it comes from the sky. Boom! And he becomes a rock. And he's amazed. Yes, I'm now the king of kings. I'm the strongest that can be. And this continues. And one day he hears, says, what's that? He hears that. He hears people talking. And recognizes the crew he used to work with. And guess what they're doing? They're breaking the rock. Says in panic, says, oh my, they're going to break me. I wish I was a man back again. And he became back under Kapi. And just as he's becoming a man, a wise man meets him and says, what did you learn? He says, I learned one thing. As Okapi, I am the best I can be. I better be a better version of me and not try to be someone else. So we start with that as our purpose. You are the best version of you. There is only you. But the number of times we wish we were somebody else. Not that you can't do something else. You can. But the number of times you spend wishing you were somebody else. I wish I was born somewhere. I wish I was born in this family. But you're the best version of you. Can you be a better you? So I'm going to tell my life story, breaking where I discovered how to be a better me and what it led. S6, I get 2 principal passes. Makere wants 3. There's only one university, so guess what? I'm not admitted. In my mind, my life is gone. I went to a school called Napmali, Mbale, far away from Kampala. And all of us are saying, to survive in this Uganda, I need to find myself back to where? Kampala. But who's going to bring me to Kampala? I thought Makere was going to bring me to Kampala, but then I'm with 2 principal passes. I even have a bad attitude. So my uncle, God bless him, finds me a job as a storekeeper in Mbale with Uganda prisons. No stock, it was just a uniport. So I used to go and open the uniport and just stare at the wall. And I hate it. I hate that job every day. They are paying me 343 shillings a month. Not 343,000. 343 shillings a month. And that's for like government things. Sometimes even that company didn't come. That's the time when there is a problem in Karamoja. I don't know how many of you are from Karamoja. So, you're from Karamoja? My sister's there. So, the Uganda prisons had a farm. Many of you may not realize this. The most fertile part of this country is actually in Karamoja. Forget about what you read about. I don't know, that part of this country is fertile. Prisons had a big, large farm. Due to the cattle rustlers, they had left. Now they were supposed to go back. So I get a call, say, Patrick, you are going to Karamoja. And I said, heck no, I'm not going to Karamoja. People don't go to Karamoja. They go away from 2 months, my uncle is trying to tell me to go to Karamoja. I'm saying, I can't go to Karamoja. Until one day he gets, okay, there is no job for you in Mbale. And I say, I'm done. Now, this is a poor guy. I'm poor. I have one shot. Okay, you can see the attitude I'm having. Until a friend I told him, my friend, what are you going to lose? Go ahead to Karamoja, stay there for 2 months, 3 months, you come back. So I went to Namalu, Karamoja. And the true to form, I hated it. True to form, they hated me. I am 19. I don't even know where I was having an attitude about because I had nothing to do, nowhere to go. And then NGO comes. Now, this is where the story gets into it. And then NGO comes at that time, and they want to use the warehouses, the stores that prison had. Remember my storekeeper with the no stock. The Aussie prison says, Patrick, why don't you let them use the store for that purpose? They had about 4 trailerfuls full of used clothes, sugar, cooking oil, and so on. I opened the door, and we threw those things in for 2 days, and everything is piled up. The OC comes the next day, and he walks in, and I open the door, and you can see the disgust in his eyes. And he said, Patrick, are you an animal or a human being? I don't know what happened. It got to me. It got to me. That day, I organized the boys, and we began rearranging that stock. Rice in one corner, sugar in one corner, cooking oil, evaluated and okay. About 2 weeks later, the CEO of the NGO comes. Her name was Marilyn. Marilyn was an American, comes. And I take her through the store. The OC is worried, what are we going to find when we open that door? And you could see it, he's looking at me, he's just shaking his head. We open the doors, and the things are arranged so well, so well. And I could hear Marilyn telling the OC, who is the storekeeper? Says that young man there. Says the smartest African I've ever seen. My attitude changed that day. I can tell you from that day, we cleaned, we swept that store, we did everything on that store, swept it. Nothing had changed. I was still in Karamoja. Nothing had changed. I was still being a storekeeper. Now my attitude had changed. And we cleaned the work and worked. That NGO ended hiring me. I moved to Kampala now. Now you won't believe, I am 21. 21. I moved to here as director of logistics from Karamoja, from a storekeeper. I began to work. But because I had done such a good job for them, when the CEO says, Patrick, why don't you apply to the US, to the university? I says, I don't want to go to the US. I don't even know where I was talking. I don't want to go to the US. My thing was not to the US. There are too many cowboys. He went for summer, came back with 3 application forms. I filled them. He went, I don't know what he wrote on there. They admitted me in all the 3 schools. As a thank gift, the NGO bought for me my ticket, and I went to the US. And I get to the US, and I am, it's cold, it's bitter, I left a nice job. What am I doing in the US? I have a problem, have an attitude problem. You know how you guys out there say, Bari kucheyo. I'm in the chair, I've done everything. I've swept, I've done the carpet and so on. One day, around June, just before summer, I'm so angry. What am I doing here? Why am I doing this low-level job? Because I'm cleaning toilets, I'm sweeping the floors. Why am I doing it? I need to go home. Now, I don't know what I'm coming to do to Uganda, but I need to go home. I need to do what? To come home. So one day, I am cleaning the toilet, and I hear the toilet flush next door. And I open. My assistant professor has got the plunger in his hands. He's been cleaning the toilet. I said, Dr. Smith, what are you doing? He says, me and my wife, summer is coming, me and my wife want to go for vacation, and I need extra money. And another light bulb came. So wait a minute. This guy is going with his wife for vacation. He's an assistant professor. He's cleaning the toilet. Me, I need money to survive, and I have an attitude. My attitude changed. Today, if you invite me in your home, I can hoover that carpet for you that even you are scared to step on it. Same man, same person, an attitude change that happened. So I go through the universities there, do my masters, do my CPAs, I will kind of spare them. But then the third point comes where now I'm making a decision. Okay, what should I do? I realize that I have an accent. And Americans are going to be very interesting. This informed my choice. What should I do that differentiates me from Americans? So initially, I was doing business administration management, and I realized, that has a lot of soft skills in it. The Americans will beat me. So in my junior year, I began doing accounting because I knew that quant, when it came to quant, I could compete. You don't hear me speak, you just need to solve the problem. The chartered accountant. So when I did accounting, did my CPA, and sure enough, now I'm competing with Americans. How am I going to get a job? I'm about to finish. And these are the things that he was talking about here. A friend of mine is actually a controller in one of the universities. They've had serious problem with their books. In February, now I'm coming to the man, we're graduating in May. In February, I go and visit him, and I can see he's just scratching. They're getting qualified reports for the last 10 years. I'm an accountant to be. I said, I want to volunteer for you. And I did. So for the next 4 months, I volunteered in that university to fix their books. I didn't know a lot of accounting then. I was still a student, but I knew more than them. Fix their books. When May came and we graduated, then they offered me a job as a senior accountant. And from that point on, life just became through that. I'm sharing this with you to say, the thing about purpose, nobody's going to give it to you. Like we say, doing nothing is not an option. Be a better you. Think about in Karamoja, the only change I needed to do was to have a better attitude. Not to become Tom. Not to become Peter. Just to become Patrick with a better attitude. If you look at when I'm going and I'm cleaning all these toilets and so on, at that point I'm struggling with, no, what am I doing here and so on? The idea was not me to become a better team or to become Susan. The thing is just to become a Patrick with a better attitude, a better you. And you come through even the point where we go and volunteer at that point and you work so much. And they're not paying me, but I'm volunteering. And sure enough, the end of those 4 months, I get a job that I would not have expected to have done. So the thing about purpose, as you work through this, as you're concerned, yes, you are scared what's going to happen when I get out of here. It's okay. But doing nothing is not an option. If you have to volunteer in your church, do. They need those skills that you have. You don't know who sees you when you do that. Even if it means arranging the chairs. Sometimes you go to the chair and who arranged these things? The things are, maybe now I look at them are different. Look at the chairs, but the lines are just like that. Say, let me make them straight, and you line them up. Doing nothing is not an option. And the way you start that first step, determine today you will be a better you and not another you. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
So much. Thank you so much, Patrick. The man from which village again? Oh, you guys are paying attention. That's nice, eh? Some gifts to win from Monitor. Some gifts to win from Monitor. Question time. How old was Patrick when he got his first job? Don't mention your answer. Just put up your hand. Eh? Let's go there. Yes? How old? 19? 19 or 20? 19. Oh. All right. She wins a gift from Daily Monitor. Thank you so much. And how old was he when he went to the US? How old was Patrick when he went to the US? Okay, your hand was up first. He was not 21. No, but you told us how old you were when you went to Karamoja. Okay, how old was he when he came to Kampala? No, you've answered the question. Yeah, the other side. Last, yes? Yes? 20? 21? All right. Next question. Oh, please come for your gift. Huh? Come for your gift from Daily Monitor. Next question. What was Patrick's first job? How many gifts do we have? Okay, that side. Last, yes? He was a storekeeper. Thank you so much. Come for your gift from Absa Bank. And last, oh, that's a good one. Eh? And last question. Who is the director marketing and customer experience at Absa Bank? Uh-huh. I mentioned her name. Only one hand up. Okay. Yes?
Miss Helen Basuta.
Correct. Given is a gift from Absa. And who is the CEO of Nation Media Uganda? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. You're very good participants. Thank you for paying attention. Please note, this was just a test. Raffle draw coming up. You win more gifts. You win more internship placements. And you win more gifts from Daily Monitor. Remember, talent show by NTV later today. You don't want to miss that if you want to be on TV. You can also win yourself free subscription to the Monitor e-paper for 3 months. You don't have to spend any coin to buy that. Look out for that raffle draw. Now we'll give you a chance to ask just a few questions in 5 minutes to our guests, and then they can answer. If you have a burning question, please raise your hand, and our speakers can answer that question. Thank you so much. In 5 minutes, please. Surely you have questions for the CEOs. At least tell them your name. Okay, we'll keep it short. Your name, your course, and your question.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Klein Sentezakajuvi. I am actually a former student, though learning doesn't end. My question specifically looks at purpose. There are a lot of things that can invoke, I would say, excitement in us, and would like to do them, but sometimes they are not the things that are meaningful for us or can take us somewhere. So my question is, how can you differentiate between that thing that is specific for you, that's going to build you as an individual, versus that thing that may seem like it's more like you love it, but it should be like a hobby? Let's say I may like speaking or debating, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be a lawyer. Something of that sort. So it's like something that bugs when you're trying to actually pursue a specific career path. That's my question.
Yes, good morning to everyone. My name is Sonko Ernest. My question is, we have around 32 universities in Uganda. 30,000 students graduate every year. And the statistics say that around 87% of the students that graduate don't find jobs, meaning that the 13% get their jobs. What chances do we have that we shall get the jobs?
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Angura Samuel, and I'm a student pursuing a bachelor's in international business. Well, my question is, the main thing is about determining your purpose. And sometimes you may find that you have purpose, but is not related to school stuff, you know. For example, lately, I told my parents, like, you know what, mom and dad, I want to go to a culinary school because I love cooking. I want to be a professional chef. So this is none of what I want to be. And my parents filmed, they're like, hell no. You went there, and so you got to get that bachelor's right there. And that's not my purpose, you know what I'm saying? So how do you come up with that, you know? How do you get along with it? Because if I'm to realize that purpose is not in business, it's in cooking, how do I go on to pursue that? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bashemira Babasha, BBA3. My question is that how can we benefit from this? How can we be treasured to all these organizations that we are seeing here? Because we have very many students who are going to graduate, and there is competitive in job market. And since we attend such workshops, I'd like to know how are we going to benefit from it, and really, will we be treasured in the job market?
We had a student here
Please go ahead. Last question.
from research session. She got a first class doing human resource. Then she told the father, I want to cook.
Good morning, everyone. Karen Birung is my name, Bachelor of Commerce, Year 3. So my question goes to the ABSA Bank. They talked about the Ready to Work program. My question is it basically just for equipping us with skills, or even we can get an opportunity to join ABSA in that way?
Hello, everyone. My name is Birol John, student of BIB, Year 3. My question goes to Africanasti, that's the ABSA. ABSA restructured from Barclays, but I would like to know which strategies did this ABSA take to restructure up to, and which time did it take? Because it didn't take a lot of time for it to popularize. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Last question. Last question. Okay, 2 more questions. Let's take the mic that side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mine is about professional. My name is Anita, a recent graduate, and I graduated with a bachelor's in business statistics from here. Mine is about professional qualifications, the CPA, SCCA. So how can I incorporate what I studied at the university with these other professions?
Thank you.
Victor, you'll allow me just one question from this side. Eh?
Sure.
She has really had her hand up.
It's okay. It's all right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lois Pedo, and this question goes to the MD and MG, Madam Susan. How can one get involved in writing for Daily Monitor? Thank you.
Good one. Thank you.
Okay, straight to the question.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, he has told me to go straight to the question. My question is, I would like to know if any of today's speakers could kindly guide us, because we are youth, to find purpose. I believe needs all of us to get at least a mentor. Which possibility is it? Which possibility is there, or which guidance could you give us to find mentors who could help us drive to our purpose in life? Thank you.
Thank you. Over to our guests, and back to you, Rudende, for the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. So we'll start from the outside going in. So, Mr. Kalifungwa.
Hi, thanks. So I'll pick and choose those that I have a view on, and my colleagues will also contribute. So the first one was around how you define your purpose, and distinguishing between what you like to do and what you need to do. I think that's the gist of the question that I got. So as I shared in what led to my defining my purpose as growing and driving people to achieve their potential, it was based on a number of data points. First of all, on upbringing, work experience, both bad and good. That then said, what is it that I like to do? What gives me fulfillment? What am I passionate about? So for me, the key words in you defining your purpose, I like to play golf, but that's not my passion. You understand? It doesn't give you fulfillment as a human being or to justify your existence. So for me, the key words is something that gives you passion, that you're passionate about, and something that gives you fulfillment. So that would be my thought around that. I heard the young man talk about he has a passion for culinary studies and, he's at crossroads with the parents on what he should do, follow his passion, or the advice that his parents are giving him. Now, what I always tell young people to say, even my children, when we've discussed careers, the question is, if you pursue those culinary studies, will you be able to move out of my house and pay your bills? That's the reality check. So if you are planning to adopt a career that will not be rewarding or make you independent, I would ask you to check yourself. And what is key nowadays is you need to identify a problem you want to solve for in the world. That's what leads to innovation and invention, right? There has to be a gap that you're trying to fulfill. If there are opportunities, due respect to culinary studies and everything, and you see yourself becoming a sous chef and the like, so be it. But to the extent that your parents have advised you on a certain path, what I always give examples of, I have a brother who had passion for law. He didn't make it into law school. He went into humanities and did psychology. After he finished, it got him a job. He started working. And guess what? He paid for his own law degree. And now he runs his own firm. So there is wisdom in the guidance that you get from your parents based on their experiences and real life experiences. So it's okay to have that passion, but just make sure it is something that will drive you towards becoming independent. Don't be a perpetual, burden, even when there are opportunities for you to progress based on the guidance that you are being given. So don't discard it. Weigh the options. Which one gives you a quicker path to becoming independent? That would be my advice. I hope that is useful. There was a question on ABSA Ready to Work, and does it give you an opportunity to join ABSA? That is not the intention, but to the extent that you are able to find opportunities and compete for them and you're the best candidates, you will be given that opportunity. But the whole purpose is for us to contribute to shaping society by providing an avenue to teach young adults soft skills, which I know are relevant in the workplace. People skills, work skills, money skills, and entrepreneur skills. I hope that is helpful. ABSA restructuring, popularize. I'll take that as a compliment to say that the brand has, established itself in the market. But the simple answer to that is the quality of people. Helen has been driving our brand as the head of marketing and customer experience for the 3 years that she's been with us. And the rest of the leadership team has been supporting, driving, popularizing, using your term, of the brand. So it's really about people, it's really about teamwork, it's really been about focus. And we do take thanks for the accolades, and for me, I give credit to Helen and the rest of the team.
Thank you, Mr. Kalifunga. Before you're done, there's one question here from Arnold Anghunda. He says, how is ABSA adapting to meet the changing needs and preferences of younger customers in the digital age?
Yeah, thanks. Good question. So we are adapting. For instance, we have a head of digital marketing. Why have we got a head of digital marketing? Because we have realized that in the fourth industrial revolution that we're living in, technology, digital are things that you cannot ignore. They are very strong and powerful tools for communication. So that is one of the steps that we have taken, is by engaging people with skills that are digital, centric, so to speak. Equally, when it comes to product solutioning, most of the products that we are coming up with, they don't require you to visit a branch physically. You can open an account online. You can make payments online. So we are adapting to the digital age by providing payment solutions using online platforms. I think you know that you can use internet banking, mobile banking. You're able to use our point of sale devices, ATMs, and all these things. And most of them are, contactless, as some of the, innovations that we are putting in place to adapt to the digital environment. I hope that provides some context.
Thank you, sir. Madam Susan.
Thank you. Can this be switched on? Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting storytelling today. There was a question there about us being able to predict your employment when you leave university. We are not God. We cannot predict whether you will be employed or not. What I can say is this, and again, I'm going to say this session is very good because where the speakers that have been lined up and the stories that have been told today are to enable you to find your purpose. And that is very, very crucial because as it is right now, some of you are already thinking about the job, and yet we want you to start with your purpose. What is your contribution going to be to life? Because that's what purpose is. Why did God put you here? Why did God allow you to come to MOOBS when so many other people did not make it? Why is so-and-so your classmate? Those are things that you begin to think about with a bit more intention when you start having discussions around purpose. Right now, as you know, in my new role now, it's interesting because everywhere I go, I find people that I was with at university. I did not know them. Maybe they knew me because I was on the sports team, I was on the swim team, so I was quite popular at the university. So I find the MDs, the permanent secretaries, the whatever, those are people that I was with at university. And so you've got to find yourself, you've got to understand that in life, things do not happen by mistake. There are no coincidences in life. So you've got to ask yourself those particular questions. When I see my relationship with Patrick, I see my relationship with Rudende, there's a reason behind everything that happens in life. So that is why at the beginning I said, please pay close attention to the discussions that we're having today. And story for another day. So when you're asking us to predict whether you're going to get a job, we can't predict that for you. But your actions from today, with the knowledge that you get today, will be able to predict what your future can be. And so to the lady who stood up at the back and said, what are we going to get because we've come to this? Babe, like you said, it's a competitive world out there, you know? What are you bringing to the table? Before you ask what's in it for me, what value are you bringing to my table? What value are you bringing to NSSF, to ABSA, to me at NMG? What problems are you saying you're going to solve before? I mean, look around you. There are how many people in this room? What are you doing to stand out? When Patrick says he decided to become the best storekeeper in Karamoja, and that opened doors for him. I said I started to work when I was in my first year. I was a proofreader of a newspaper, and that was my night job, and I was being paid 10,000 shillings a week. But I decided to become the best proofreader ever, and that opened doors to where I am today. So the question is, what value are you bringing to the table? And then there was another question of there are 30,000, 32 universities. Yeah, a boy from Nyem Nyem is now CEO of NSSF. You know, so the question then is, in your mindset, do you have an abundance mentality? You can go and read about having an abundance mentality, saying that yes, there are 30,000 graduates every year, but I'm going to be the graduate that's going to shine. An abundance mentality says that there's only this number of jobs, but I am still going to shine, knowing that there is something so it's a process. Let me not go into the mechanics of the abundance mentality. I'm going to ask you to go and read about having an abundance mentality. Do you see your glass as half full or as half empty? If you see it as half empty, you've already lost the battle even before you finish university. Yeah. But if you see it as half full, then you will know that there are opportunities out there that are waiting to be taken. And so, with that, I'm going to talk about the lady who asked about the writing. If you want to start writing, write. You understand? Write. Start by writing opinion pieces. Start by getting... The other day, I was at a function where IGG, Betty Kamia, was the guest of honor. And I worked with Betty in another of my chapters in life. And as we're talking, we realized that for her to get into politics and everything, it is because she always used to write letters. Always used to write letters she had every week she would write in the New Vision and the Monitor. Every single week she would write. So, and that's how she ended up starting a political party, etc. and etc. So my challenge to you, start writing. Bring the letters. Write opinion pieces. Raise whatever issues you want to raise. And as that, allow yourself to do writing courses. Allow yourself to refine your writing skills. Come talk. I can get you a young editor who can give you a few tips on writing and how you can improve your writing and things like that. Like I said, the world is your platform. It is up to you to decide whether it's too small, I'm going to stay home and sleep, or I'm just going to say, what opportunities do you have? Are you the kind of person who wakes up in the morning and says, good morning, Kampala? Or are you the person who says, it's raining, let me go back to sleep? That's the difference. So today, we're here to unleash that so that every morning you'll see that there are countless opportunities for each and every single Ugandan. That's the truth. Each and every single Ugandan. There is something that God created you for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Susan. Just to augment, a question from one Biroki John. He's wondering about how nation media, using digital media, social media and the like, how they're leveraging it to further their cause and how these students can plug in via digital media.
Very interesting, because these days all we have are strategy discussions. So we have what we call our grand digital strategy. And in terms of our grand digital strategy, which we're calling our North Star strategy, it is really for us to see how we can transform ourselves into the most innovative and trusted content platform by delivering on certain targets. And as it is right now, like say the Daily Monitor website is the leading local website. You know, when you put aside the Googles and etc. And every day we have 2 million people interacting with our website. Those are 2 million people. And, you know, we could clap our hands and say, wow, 2 million people. But our target is 10. So we're, as it is right now, as I speak right now, we're transforming we are transforming our newsroom. We are transforming our platforms. We've got to upskill our people. And so someone mentioned digital skills. It is now something with us that any person that comes into the organization, digital skills are part of it because we've got a digital first strategy. So there's going to be you're going to see a lot of changes across this year, across next year. But all in all I can say is whatever your passion is, if you have a passion in media, make sure that you acquire the necessary digital skills so that when you're plugging into coming to work with us, you have those skills already, because that's something that we're looking for right now. digital skills. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Patrick, I'm going to let you have the last word. Somebody spoke
Okay.
about mentoring. And while they may not find mentors on this platform directly, maybe if you could give them a couple of tips they can use on how to identify and how to engage somebody that would like to mentor them.
But actually, we do have a lot of mentors around us. Mentorship, traditionally, people think that I'm talking to you about you. It's not that. It's actually what Susan talked about. The people around you, what do they recognize you have? Are you one person who, every time you're going to have a party, you are the treasurer? They elect you as the treasurer. What do they see in you? Or do they choose you? You go talk to him. You're the one they choose to. What those are signals on what the people around you see. And you may say, let me try to get a mentor. But you know, the whole of you has a lot of issues. We don't just bring one part of us and we leave the other behind. I work in a fund where an employee comes up and they have a serious attitude. And he thinks about work. It was about home. Now, the issue is, for me to be able to break through that, I need to relate to you much more than you even think. And then the friends around you, actually, that's why what Susan says is important. The ones you surround yourself with will be your best encourager or your worst distractors. Who is around you? I would start from there because it's much easier. And then you add on the spiritual life. Goodness me, the wisdom within the Bible, the Quran, is incredible. Can even try to do some of those. Many of you are here by asking for, oh God, please show me my will. Please show me what your will is in my life. But the things is written in the Bible, you're not even doing them and you want him to show you the other things. Start with what you see. And see, if he says, thou shalt not gossip, are you gossiping? Can we? So it's simple in terms of what we do. But we can talk a little bit more about that and so on. But you guys have a lot around you. You are professors. Those guys, they teach you, they see you, they encourage you, they know what you have, where you want to go. Don't ignore what they're telling you in that process. I want to just finish up on a bit on what Samuel said, and this building out what Mumba said. You are also your parent because you want to do something else, but they're willing to pay for something you don't like to do. And Mumba is very right. Take the 3 years, let them pay for it, you are done, then go do your thing. Oh, if you really believe the culinary thing is that great, why are you waiting until you graduate for you to begin preparing food? Let me ask you a question. How many places along there, if you just go where the quality mall is and there, how many of those cooks have gone to culinary school and yet we eat their food? What can't you start right in your dome that your friends begin to enjoy? Hey, my friend, these chapatis are great. Why are you waiting until you finish college to be a culinarist? And what Susan said, just start. If you show and you're making the money, you think your parents are going to say, don't do it? They won't. So the point of it is start and don't wait until later. Finally, there was a very interesting conversation that took place about 20 years ago. So NBC, which was one of the largest TV stations in the US, put the 10 top most CEOs on a platform. And the question was one, what has made you so successful? The largest company at that time was GE, General Electric. It was big. I mean, it was 4 or 6 times the value of Uganda from a GDP perspective. Jack Welch is the CEO, and everybody's waiting to hear what is Jack Welch going to tell us on what has made him very successful. So as everybody's asked, the last question comes Jack Welch. And he says, he thought for a minute, I can tell you something. My success, I attribute it to 2 things. 95% luck and 5% planning and hard work. I say, what do you mean? 95% luck, 5% planning, and hard work. And people are confused. So he said something added to that. But I also found out in life that the harder, the more I plan, and the harder I work, the more luckier I become. So you're looking at what? You want to improve your chances on admission, whatever it is? plan, and work hard. You will stand out if you do. Today in NSF, one of the things we have, now there are places we don't even need a degree. We have people who are working with us, they don't have degrees, they're developers. They are so good at the digital work, they are so good, they're second to none. Because they can actually deliver what we are looking for. And that's the thing as you go through here. Plan, work hard, and distinguish yourself. In class, distinguish yourself as you can. And improve your chances on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's one more time, let's hear it for the MDs who have graced us today. The MD of NSSF, Mr. Patrick Michael Ayota, the MD of Nation Media Group Uganda, Ms. Susan Sibirwa, and Mr. Mumba Kalifungwa, who is the MD of ABSA Uganda. Thank you so much, guys. We know you're very busy and important, but you gave us your time. Please, let's give them a very big MOOBS farewell as they leave. I will simply ask that we have a photo op with you on the stage before you leave as we prepare for our next speakers. And our next speakers, but the questions, I know there are many, but don't worry. Questions will be asked to the two people who are coming to give us amazing presentations. Yes, right on the stage. As they prep and set up for their photo op, I want to ask, does anybody here play chess? Who plays chess? You play chess? Come here. Who else plays chess? Are there any boys who play chess? Come. You play chess? Okay, I need more ladies. Which other ladies play chess besides her? What about you play draft? Draft is also good, but I want chess players today. You play chess? Come here, sir. Where are my chess players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are no more ladies who play. You play chess alone. When you go back to the hold, who do you play with?
I don't sleep in a hall.
Oh, Mukama. It's okay. Very good. Oh, you play chess? Ah, good. The two of you should battle. But not here, not right now. Thank you very much. Where are my players? Come here. Chess players to one side. Pick a t-shirt here. For knowing how to play chess, pick a t-shirt. Do you see how you'll miss heaven? Hey. Please pick a shirt, sir. Pick a shirt. Thank you very much. Who else? Pick a shirt. There you go. Now please go on the stage. You are the privileged ones who are going to stand with the MDs. Thank you very much. Don't be shy. This is how you find mentors. You can fluke an internship in jokes. Ah, there are our people. You see? Very good.